It is undoubtedly that Julius Caesar is one of the most influential figures in our history. He has achieved many of his aspirations and his ambitious goals while leaving a huge footprint in the known world. Even long after his death, many powerful individuals would see him as a model and would aspire to accomplish similar feats. But what made him into the man we know of today? What can you learn from his life? Some will say he's the greatest, others will say he's a bloodthirsty conqueror. Yet, what is clear is that he was able to realize his ambitions and remain in the minds of the people for more than a millennia. But how? To accomplish something remarkable, one must first have the vision for it. Caesar's ambition was boundless, as he wanted to unify Rome while extending its borders, leading him to conquer Gaul and defeat powerful political opponents. If he was not a visionary, none of this would have happened. That is why you must establish clear goals and find ways to attain them. Visionaries like Caesar have a clear direction and a purpose, allowing them to inspire others as well. On top of that, by having a direction and setting objectives along the way, they can expect future challenges, allowing them to find solutions instead of giving up. When needed, they think outside the box to come up with such solutions. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to change? What is your vision? It all starts here. It's no surprise that Caesar was a master communicator. As for a politician to stay in power, one must first be capable of garnering support while having the sympathy and respect of the populace. Caesar was not only able to do this with the people, but also with the soldiers under his command and the Roman Senate. He would articulate his ideas in a way that was easy to understand and in a compelling manner. He understood the motivations and the desires of different groups. Thus, when conducting public speeches, he knew that in order to convince, he needed to appeal to the emotions and the logic of his listeners. His written works, notably the commentaries on the Gallic War, showcase effective communication, as the main goal of these writings were to convince the people of his military genius and his triumphs. Moreover, his charisma, his confident and dynamic presence allowed him to captivate audiences and instill loyalty among his troops, even in times of difficulty. Speaking of tense moments, one may argue that one of the most decisive moments in Caesar's life was the crossing of the Rubicon. At the time, Roman law prohibited Roman generals from entering Italy with their armies. Thus, crossing the Rubicon meant that Caesar was directly in violation of this rule. Caesar knew that proceeding with this meant civil war. Thus, he carefully planned his next actions and calculated everything, enabling him to be confident and decisive. Besides, Caesar's perseverance helped him a lot during his military campaigns, particularly in Gaul. Over nearly a decade, he led his legions through difficult and prolonged campaigns, often against formidable and numerous enemies. Despite facing numerous hardships, including harsh winters, supply shortages, and fierce resistance from local tribes, Caesar remained determined to achieve his objectives. By never giving up, he gained experience, which would serve him well in his fight against Pompey and the Roman Senate, following the crossing of the Rubicon. Eventually, he defeated all of his opponents in battle, becoming the uncontested leader of Rome. This teaches us the value of taking calculated risks when the potential rewards justify them. The phrase, crossing the Rubicon, has come to symbolize committing to a bold and irreversible decision, reflecting the importance of decisive action in moments of opportunity. As we all know, Knowledge is key in everything. Caesar was fully aware of this fact. He knew that in order to help a nation grow, he himself must grow by gaining new knowledge. From an early age, Caesar received a comprehensive education, typical for a young Roman noble. He studied rhetoric, literature, and philosophy under prominent teachers. His education laid the foundation for his later achievements in oratory, writing, and leadership. He was also a keen student of military tactics and strategy. In fact, it is very probable that he carefully studied the successes and failures of previous Roman generals, such as Gaius Marius and the known Roman dictator Lucius Cornelius Sulla, and incorporated their lessons into his own military campaigns. His detailed commentaries on the Gallic Wars also reflect his analytical approach to warfare and his desire to document and learn from his experiences. His intellectual curiosity, dedication to learning, and application of knowledge across various domains were key factors in his ability to navigate and shape the complex world of Roman politics and society. Finally, last but not least, it is also worth saying that Caesar's life also teaches us about the importance of humility and the consequences of hubris. His assumption of perpetual dictatorship and the subsequent backlash culminating in his assassination illustrate the dangers of overreaching power and the importance of staying grounded. The Ides of March serve as a reminder that unchecked ambition and disregard for political realities can lead to downfall. There are a lot of elements that contributed to Caesar's rise to power. His visionary nature allowed him to forge his memorable destiny by establishing objectives, envisioning potential setbacks, and finding solutions. His communication skills helped him be heard by the masses, instill loyalty in his legions, and gain political allies. He never gave up, being determined to win even when facing serious hurdles. He calculates his moves early, allowing him to make bold decisions with confidence. And lastly, he always learns from the past mistakes of others and is open to learning more.